Welcome into MaxPreps.com. I am Zach Poff, and you are checking out the early contenders presented by Dick's Sporting Goods and Under Armour. And with that, let's bring in our high school basketball analyst, Jason Hickman. And Jay, let's head out to the West Coast and dive in California and talk about those boys from Sierra Canyon High School.
Because you know, I'm a big fan of the team that Ty Nichols has assembled there at Sierra Canyon. Going back to last year, I had them in our preseason top 10. They finished outside of the top 25. Just a very untimely playoff loss made it kind of difficult to put them at the top of the pack in terms of the hierarchy in California, let alone the country. But I think not finishing in the top 25 will maybe put a little bit of a chip on this team's shoulder and make them go out and want to prove even more this year that they are an elite group.
And Jay, I mean, this team is absolutely loaded with talent. Cody Riley, Remy Martin, Ira Lee. Now, if you had to pick one guy, who's kind of the dude that really gets this team going, though?
Yeah, you got to throw in DeVerl Ramsey as well, who's a two-time gold medalist with USA basketball and just committed to Nevada. You're absolutely right, Zach. I mean, so many names, you can't even really mention them all. But I got to give some love to Cody Riley. I mean, this young man, 6'8", 245 pounds, feels like we've been covering this guy for a decade. He was a middle school phenom, and it's given people, the scouting media, if you will, a lot of time to kind of poke holes in this young man's game and kind of really highlight what they don't like. What you have to like is the production and just the physicality and the athleticism. I really think this young man has got it all in terms of being a power forward at this level or the next. Think a little bit of Julius Randle, if you will. I mean, the styles are a little bit different, but just that unbelievable force, physicality, and athleticism that they can bring to the floor is very difficult to match up with. Seems like a great young man as well. He's handled all the pressure and all the expectations of being a young star very well. And he's a big factor for the Sierra Canyon Trailblazers.
Ira Lee, a guy who's one of the best high school hoopers in all of California, missed most of his sophomore season. What do you expect from Ira Lee this year, Jay?
Well, here's what's incredible about Sierra Canyon. Last year went 26-4, beat teams like DeMatha and Corona del Sol, took Oak Hill Academy to the wire, and they did it all without a guy that they were expecting big things from. That's Ira Lee, of course, who was a top 50 player in the class of 2017. Here's where his absence really handicapped him last year. You could see, that Sierra Canyon asked Cody Riley to be a little bit passive on the defensive end and not get into foul trouble. At times, he just had to concede baskets because they couldn't afford to have him come off the floor. This year, it'll be totally different. They're going to have another 6'8", 235-pounder to throw in there in Ira Lee. And they also got another 6'8" exchange student from Montenegro that they will throw in there down in the post as well. So this is going to be a very different looking Sierra Canyon team with Ira Lee in there. And again, it's just going to allow them to, I think, be all that much more effective in post defense and allow a guy like Cody Riley to really get after it, try to block shots, and play physical basketball.
I'm really looking forward to see what Sierra Canyon can do this year. Hey, Jay, thanks for the time, my man.
Absolutely. Love talking high school hoops.
I am Zach Poff here on MaxPreps.com. This has been the Early Contenders presented by Dick's Sporting Goods and Under Armour.